Welcome back, Stony Creek Spark Chaser, and I got another great video for you today. Today we're going to talk about driveway light posts and how to install them. So I installed these back in 2016, so they're around 6 years old, and I put in 13 of them, and they're each about 25 feet apart. Now, recently we had a snowstorm. Someone couldn't get up the driveway, and when they went to go back down it, they hit one of the light posts. So today I'm here to repair it, and I figured at the same time I'll show you guys how I install these and show you guys some unique characteristics I put into this design that you won't really find anywhere else. So the first thing I want to point out is that when I bought my house 6 years ago, I knew I was going to be doing a lot of remodeling to it. And I was afraid of wide loads not being able to get up my narrow driveway with light posts in. So I designed these in such a manner where I can take the light post and pull it up and set it down off to the side where I'm not messing with the electrical or with the post base itself. So essentially, I can take these off and put them back with really minimal effort. The second thing about this is that if you look at this light post, it looks like a normal light post, right? Well, the only thing that's light post oriented or made for a light post is the light fixture itself up here. These are standard light fixtures, and they usually have a base that's 3 inches wide. So me being an electrician, I went to my local electrical supply house, and they sell metal pipe called EMT, which is electrical pipe used for running wires through it. So this is a 3-inch outside diameter pipe, and I just knew I could use that and just paint it black, and I have a black light post. So it worked out great. And I was surprised when I was doing research on light posts how expensive they actually are if you want to buy it as a full assembly. It can cost 200, 250 bucks. And I'm thinking with the light post top around 60 bucks, and with this section of EMT, because it comes in 10-foot sticks, and I cut them all in half at 5 feet. So this is a 5-foot tall piece of EMT. I might have spent around $100 per light post. So for 13 of them, I spent around 1,300 bucks, which really is a good deal with that amount of light posts. So anyway, let's get into the repair, and then I'll show you guys how to install these. So let's first talk about what you don't see, which is buried underneath the ground. So I buried this 1/2-inch PVC electrical conduit between 18 to 24 inches below grade. And these go between each of my light posts. Now these come in 10-foot sticks, and they're designed to run electrical wires through them so you can bury them safely. Now at the end of each run, you can buy a 90, and you can glue these together. So from my light post up there, I had a 90, and then I have a light post behind me here that went this way. Now for the base for the light post itself, I took my 3-inch EMT and I cut around a 12-inch to a 14-inch section of this pipe. So what you do, you have your hole dug out, you have these all in the ground facing this way and this way. You take your EMT chunk that you just cut and you slide it over top of that, of these two 90s. Now you take about 2 bags of concrete or 1 bag of concrete, depending on how big your hole is, and you want to make sure you don't get any concrete inside of these holes here, because wires are going to have to come out of those. But you want to pour concrete around this whole area, and then you want to make sure that your 12-inch piece of EMT is sticking straight up and it's level in all directions. Let that dry for 24 hours, then we can start putting in our wiring. So as for the wire used, I went to my local hardware store, and you could buy 500-foot reels of THHN 12-gauge wire. This wire you have to run inside of a conduit. That's why I use this. They actually do make wire that you can direct burial, but I like having my wire in conduit. It's a little bit safer in case you have to dig there in the future. You're not going to immediately hit live wire. Now, you want to use black for your hot, white for your neutral, and then you want to use green for ground. Now the way I ran this wire, I had to daisy chain it between each of my light posts. So I'd have a set of wire come down from my light post down to this one, and it sits about this high. The reason why I put it so high was because when I want to take these light posts down, I'm not pulling tight on the wire from the next light post. And that gives me a bunch of extra slack. So, and then you take another set of those 3 wires and you go down to your next light post. It just makes it a lot easier for connection and for removal in the future. All right, so I want to show you how easy it is to take this light post down to move it out of the way in case you have a wide load come through. Just loosen it up and then take your light post, pull it out, and set it off to the side. Now, as you see inside of here, I have my runs coming from this direction and then that direction, and they're just spliced like that. So you can see I have another set of black, white, and green that goes from the bottom of my base up to the top of my light post. You want to make sure you have enough slack for all this, because the more slack you have, the better it is in the future to make any type of repairs. And then to put it back, you just stick it back in there, put your light post back down again, push it in, and take your wrench and tighten it back down. That simple. Now this is a 3-inch coupler that I put on the top of that 12 to 14-inch piece of EMT for my base. It has its own set of bolts right here. So once this is all concreted in place, you can just go ahead and put this coupler on, and that allows you to attach your 3-inch light post to the top of this coupler. So I want to show you real quick the actual light post top that I bought for all my lights. It's by Satco and it's called Nuvo, and the item number is 604929, and one comes in each of these boxes. Now, when I bought all these lights, I had to buy 13 of them. Go ahead, do it right now. Trust me, buy 2 extra lights. You never know if a tree branch hits them, or if someone hits them, the glass might break. It's going to look stupid because you have a broken light post and they don't make it anymore, so you can't get a matching replacement. So go ahead and buy 1 or 2 extra light post tops. That way you have them in the future and you're good to go. All right, so now we can go ahead and we can install our light fixture. So it's kind of easy with 2 people. One person can hold this, one person can wire nut these wires together, but if you don't have a second person, that's all right. We can still do it with just one person. So take your ground lead that comes from your light post fixture itself. You want to wire nut that one to the green wire that you ran, just like that. Obviously, make sure all your electrical is turned off and safe so you don't get electrocuted. So once that green one's in place, we'll take our black wire and match it up with our other black wire. And we'll tighten that down with another wire nut, like so. And the road's busy today. All right, and then we'll take our white wire and we'll hook it up to our white wire that we ran. Run that down. Okay, double check we're tight. No copper is exposed. You can run some tape around here if you want to. I'm not too worried about it. I have no copper showing. Then just take your wire, shove it back down your post. Just like that. And then you could stick your post top on, just like that. Make sure it's nice and I line mine up so the face of the face of my fixture is parallel with my driveway. And once you see like it's where you want it, there's just 3 Phillips screws on the bottom. Just tighten these down equally. Like that. Make sure it feels nice and tight, which it does. Then step back real quick and make sure it looks pretty level. It does. There you go. Light post installed. New fixture I put in here. Actually, this is an old fixture. I was able to repair it with some JB Weld. I'm cheap. It's a good repair. I have 2 other fixtures in case one really goes bad, but no glass was broken on this one when it fell down, so easy money. So let's go turn these on. I'll quick show you the control that I use to turn these on and off. It's just a photocell, and we'll wrap it up. All right, so as mentioned before, this is my photocell that's used to turn on and off the lights, so I don't have to do anything about, turning them on and off. They're really easy to hook up. You can get these at, again, your local hardware stores. There's just 3 wires on the back of them. White's your neutral, so white to white. And then you have a black here. That's going to be your line. So that's going to be the power coming from the circuit breaker or whatever is always hot. And then your red wire right here, that attaches to the black wire that goes to each lights. So that's your load, red, and black is your line coming from your source. So that's gonna about wrap up the video. I want to thank you for sticking through it with me and watching me repair my light post assembly. I hope these design characteristics and installation tips that I brought forward help you with your future driveway light installations. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's the ability to take your light posts, pull them down, and move them off to the side. That way wide loads can get through. There's been instances where I've seen people have had to remove light posts because something big cannot get into their property. Take that worry away, no stress, and just give yourself the ability to lay these babies down. Please like the channel, subscribe if you want. It's a free way to promote my content, and leave me any questions or comments you might have down below. I take great pride in answering people within the hour or at least within that day to try and solve their problems with useful solutions. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, and until next time, take it easy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, almost had it.